Now, my camera preference for documenting my hiking and backpacking is a digital camera. Stick around, I'll tell you all about it. Almost like an annoying tourist. Ever since I've been enjoying the outdoors and going places, and then I've taken some kind of camera, I've recorded my journey, and it's been fantastic. I love it. I have thousands and thousands and thousands of pictures and videos in my library of stuff, and I've tried them all. I've tried DSLR cameras, big clunky DSLR cameras. I've tried my phone, and I've tried mirrorless digital cameras. And my preference today, over the years, where I'm at right now, is a digital mirrorless camera. Let's explore this a little bit. Now, phones have come a long way, and they can do some pretty amazing stuff. You've seen the commercials, right, where they have, this best of class iThing over here making movies. They're getting much more capable than what they used to be. But even the best in class phones cannot compete with the best of class digital cameras on the market today. They're just more capable, they're more versatile, like shutter speed, depth of field, zoom, and nighttime photography. Now, this is mostly due to the sensor size on a digital camera. Even DSLR cameras are much larger. That way you're able to capture much more digital information and do a lot more in post-production. Now, a few phones have some lenses that you can strap on the backside of them, but those are kind of specialty items. When you get these larger cameras, digital cameras, DSLR cameras, you can have interchangeable lenses, and a lot of them. And with lenses, you can do a lot more. Now, digital cameras versus DSLR cameras. Digital cameras are much smaller and they're simpler, and they have a smarter mechanical design. You find stronger autofocus systems. High-speed shooting is typically more capable in a digital camera, and also video capability is typically better in a digital camera. Now, granted, not all digital cameras are superior, but if you take the best of class in all DSLRs and all phones, and you compare them with best of class in mirrorless digital cameras, I think you're going to find in almost every category, digital cameras are better. Now, if you're not one to do professional or semi-professional photography, then probably none of this matters. And also, you might want to look for cameras that are specifically made for vlogging, or whatever you're using them for. In my case, that's what I'm using them for. And I got my camera that was specifically made for this. It has great features for everything that I want to do. It's light, it's compact, it's pretty durable. I also wanted to go manual if I wanted to get all fancy with my manual settings and just play the professional thing. But I also didn't want to spend a ton of money. So that was my challenge. I did not need a full frame camera. I did not need something that had a lot of lens options. But I also didn't want something low end. I didn't want something that limited me in a lot of ways. So I was looking for a decent kind of middle tier camera, probably more than $500, but less than $1,000. So what I ended up with was a Canon G7X Mark II. Now, I just advise you to go to the website to go look at the specs, because they're long, and I'm not going to spend a half hour here on this video explaining all the features of this camera. But I'm going to throw a few up here on the screen to show you why I selected this. Here they are. So for me, this was a great option. I love my camera. I've been using it now for a couple years. And I don't know. I just I fell in love with what it does for me. Now let's talk about my tripod. I like my little Joby. It's a HandyPod Mini. It's great for little shots on the trail if I just want to get down and look up, or if I want to use it handheld. It's really nice for blogging when I'm holding it out. And I also have a video on mini tripods. Go ahead and check it out. Now, attached to this, I have a nice mount on here. This is a newer mount. That's what it's called. Newer. It's one of those quick release mounts. It's one of those Arca compatible. I'll show you on the bottom of my camera and how this mounts in there. Just slide it in there, click it down, done. Easy release, pull it off, ready to go. And I have the same thing on my other tripod. Now there's times where I also carry a larger tripod, my Aoka KB20. It's a carbon fiber. I reviewed that in another video as well, if you want to check that out. There's some specs and details about that. But it's very handy if you want something that it rises a little bit taller, is a little bit more stable. Now I also have a UV filter, which is primarily a lens protector, because on these digital cameras there's really no need for a UV filter anymore just because of the way the sensor works. But it's a great way to protect your lenses. I also have a circular polarizing filter, and that does great with reflective light. It gives you much greater color saturation. I also have a USB charger for this. Sometimes I use it out in the field. Sometimes I'll just use it at home, but it's an extra little accessory. I'll bring along a power bank. Sometimes I'll bring my Anker 10,000. Sometimes I'll bring my 20,000 ZMI. Just depends on what I'm doing. I might also bring my solar charger. And then I have a fanny pack to carry all of this in. This one happens to be a Fjällräven fanny pack, but there's plenty out there. Okay, so that's my camera setup out here in the field. While I'm hiking and backpacking, that's what I use to film all this stuff. Hope you enjoyed it. Hey, if you like this kind of stuff, hiking, backpacking, spending time in nature and in the wilderness, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done that already. Like this video, helps with the algorithm. But mostly, I like conversation. So go ahead and leave some comments down below about the camera system that you use and why. So I'll see you on the trail.